You listening to the sounds of DJ Fourth Quarter in your ear right now. If you're in your car, if you're at home, if you're on your phone, let's gripe, baby.
Driving home and you feeling kinda tired. Hey, radio play the same thing every day, so you need a little switch in your life. Traffic got you jammed up every night. Tune in to Powerhouse. Wednesday 7 to 9, you need to check them out. I promise I ain't trying to hype, but one good listen tonight, it might change your life. So what's the name of the show? You need something to just ride to on the go, or you might be home so log on. You can even dial in on your phone. I promise that you're gonna love it. Just try it one time, it'll blow your mind. Now I'ma say it just one more time. Every Wednesday from 7 to 9.
Let's gripe. Let's gripe. Let's gripe. Let's gripe.
Good evening, everyone. Good
Let's
evening.
gripe.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. It is Wednesday, August 30th.
I think I lost you. But I just want. Can you hear me, Tonia? I don't know if anybody else can hear you, but if they can hear me, what's up, everybody? This is Les Gripe. You can't hear me. Can you hear me now? Nothing. You can hear me? I don't know. Thumbs up. Can you hear me?
It's you.
Okay.
Marcus, we are hearing you. We're just not hearing Tonia.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you. We got Tonia up here having these technical difficulties.
Said to go on and talk until she fixes her problem over there.
Okay. She said go on, start. Okay. What up? As Tonia was saying, this is Wednesday, August 30th. Again, this month has flown by. Let's see. Do I have, before Tonia gets back on, let me think about this for a minute. Do I have any gripes for today? I think I do. I'm gonna try to wait on Tonia to get back on here, and we're gonna discuss.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, look at you back on in here.
Good evening, everyone. We do apologize for the technical difficulties. Thank you, MG, for holding it down. That's why, one of us can't do the show,
Mm-hmm.
We had the storm in Georgia, South Georgia, and there was some power outage. So that's why we're in here late tonight. The studio was down. Hope everyone in Florida is safe. Hope anyone that is in the path of the storm stays safe. You can always replace material things. You can't replace life. So if you got to leave. Okay.
Facts.
So MG is August 30th.
Right. And I was just telling them, I got a little bit of gripe. Just a little bit, working with our younger people in their early 20s and this obsession with their phones. I don't know why. So when you come to a new job, this is about, I know our audience may not be, the early 20s, but hey, if you're out there, you listen to your early 20s, this will be for you. When you go to a job, there is probably only maybe a circle of 2 to 3 people in your phone that you absolutely have to talk to. And it's in cases of emergency. Other than that, you shouldn't be on your phone while you're on your job, if your job is not that kind of job. Now, if you're sitting at your desk all day, being able to type on the computer, do all the other stuff, fine. As long as you're getting your work done. But other jobs, when you have to actually speak to people, you have some type of customer service going on, you should be on your phone. So that's my little gripe, because I believe in, like, I don't mind people trying to finesse the system. I don't mind it at all. I just feel like you should get to know the system first before you finesse it. That's it.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm gonna piggyback on that. So it's amazing that you brought up that you had a gripe like that, because I saw something on TikTok. Y'all know I be on them social media because I need to keep up with what's going on, so we could talk about it here on Let's Gripe. But how about this young lady? She was a security guard, and she has to monitor these cameras.
Mm-hmm.
So your eyes gotta be on the camera.
Mm-hmm.
How about she in front of the camera? She on her phone, so she really not paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
So how about, I guess her supervisor came behind her and had like a box, like a broken down box,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like he hit her on top of the head with it. They said that's the new way to tell them that they fired. Yeah, MG. So
Yeah,
I
now
don't know if
don't touch me to tell me I'm fired. You could have called me at the crib or something, but don't touch me. Come on, what are you doing?
just tapped on her head with the box to let her know you fired. And she turned around, and she turned around smiling, and then when she saw it, she was like, but I didn't catch it, until I had to go to the comments, right? And they was like, yeah, that's when you got fired. So she was supposed to be watching the monitors to making sure that, nothing get passed, but apparently they were being watched. So apparently, but guess what? She was on her phone. So it's the same thing what you're saying. Until you know the system, you could get away with it, because when I worked in the office, you're not supposed to be on your phone, have your phone in your hand when you are at your desk doing stuff, right? And I promise you, it was a condition for me. I would put my phone in the corner away. But if you had a little treat you want to see, maybe a call, you getting a call or a text, especially if you have children, family members, and so forth.
Yeah.
But working from home, when it be a little slowish and stuff, you got, a little time, I'd be like, but I can multitask.
Yeah. As long as like I said before, if you have a job where, especially if it's a completion job, where as long as you complete your work, whatever amount of work you got to do for that day, then you're good. But like I said before, that goes for any customer service job, where you're at the mall, a fast food place, or a high-end store, or a high-end hotel, or something like that. Like, there's this thing called customer service. Like, I see if and if you have to be on your phone at any time, just step away from wherever you are supposed to be working, serving people, if you can. You know what I mean? If you have another, working with another person, hey, Jim, John, Angie, whatever, hey, can you step in for me? I got to take this phone call real fast. No, those are the things you do. But you don't be on there having like 20, 30-minute conversations. You know what I mean? Like, at that point, you just caking. Like, you know what I mean? While you on the clock.
Exactly. And you do have to be mindful, because you and most likely it's in your handbook telling you that certain things that you can't do. And you have a certain time to complete certain tasks. We are spoiled with these new technology. You could do everything on the phone. Besides, being on social media and so forth like that, you could pay your bills. You could grocery shop live. We're doing that too.
Yeah.
But it's all a matter of fact that a lot of discipline has went through the door. And that's one of the things that I had, I was like, we could touch on, because discipline, it's not so much discipline like before. You know how before, back in the days, like, you couldn't see your next door neighbor and act up or even say a bad word in front of them, because before your mother or your father get home, they're going to know what happened. Nowadays, it's not like that. I mean, these young teenagers and these young children, they don't even care.
Nah, not at all.
My niece is 5 years old, and a couple weeks ago, I heard her saying, Auntie, Nine cursed. She said a bad word. And I said, so I'm interested now, what bad word she said? She looking at me. I said, go on and tell me the bad word. She said, I said, go ahead and tell me what she said, because I need to know what she said so I can see if it's a bad word. MG, she said the word. She said B. But guess what the crazy thing was? Her older sister didn't say. My niece just wanted to lie and say,
Kids will do
5 years old.
Kids will
5.
do that. Kids will do that.
And I just sit there and I'm like, the discipline, you wouldn't dare. You know, so I've been saying this to one of my nieces, the second to the youngest. She's just turned 21. And I've been trying to instill in her for the last few years. I said, there's 3 things I need you to do to have taken this world. You will see how better and how nice your life will be. I need you to have, 1 is discipline. 2 is principle.
Okay.
3, I want you to walk around with this. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
Okay.
I said, if you got those 3 things, you good. So I had to show her. I said, for example, if you have principle, right? So you know, you see an older person, you won't say a bad word, right? So that's principle. And you're disciplined. You know how to act around someone. So those 2 are together. Put them together. They're pretty much works hand in hand. Because when you have discipline, you got principle. You see what I'm saying? Like an older person,
ma'am.
you see that you, Mr. Jones, sir. You know, you're not gonna say, Craig. So those walking hands, I said, so those 2 things right there, you'll be good. And then, if you do unto others as you will have them do unto you, man, you good. Because first of all, you don't want nobody spitting in your face, right? So you ain't gonna spit in nobody's face, right? So you won't do it. I said, so if you put those 3 things together, I said, now imagine if everybody in this world practice those 3 things. Could you imagine how the world would be? We'd be walking around like how they walked around before Adam and Eve decided they want to mess with the apple.
Yep. Well, so that's really good advice to give her, though. And probably more people should hear that those 3 things, though. You know what I mean? Especially if they're going wherever they go in college, they just graduated college or going into the workforce. They definitely should hear that.
Just everyday life. I just believe that. And I promise you, MG, since I've been practicing that, I notice how I'm good. I tell you, every day is my blessing. But I notice the difference. Because like I say, I mean, if I'm carrying 5 bags of groceries, because that's me, I'll try to get all the bags out the car at one time. And if you see me struggling, I would love for you to offer to help me. So I do the same thing. I was just in the store earlier today, ran to go get some stuff. And this older lady, she was on a cane, and she looked like she was even having a problem. And I was just sitting there. I was just mad. I was just fussing at her folks in my head. Why she out here by herself? Why somebody was not with her? And before I could finish cursing her family out in my head, her cane fell. And when it fell, she was like, and I said, don't worry about it. I get it. But then the cashier young lady, I was very impressed with her too. She came out, she said, I got it. I said, well, thank you. You know, again, because that could be me in my older days, when and I would want someone to offer to get it, because I already, when she felt, she was already wondering how she gonna get it. Not on my clock. You ain't gotta worry about it. Look, I got one knee replacement. Guess what? I'm gonna get on there and I'm gonna get it for you. But the cashier did it. So if we do more of those things, we would be fine. We won't have a problem that nowadays that the problem that we are having in society, because the simple fact is that everyone want to be selfish. Everyone, they are ready to be on 10. If you just accidentally step on their foot or you kind of bump into them, they ready to go off.
Yep.
So,
I mean, the model these days, I know you mentioned back, you were talking about how, your neighbors and stuff, and your parents knew information because community told them. But the model these days is mind your business.
Mind
You
your
know
business. No, don't
that
mind
that.
your business. I would love to go back to the good old days because it was nice because when you saw your mother good friend, you hiding if you was doing anything that you had no business doing, or
Yeah,
they know that you was not supposed to be outside. Guess what we doing? We running and ducking. Now people they just doing the whole
yeah,
most. I'm like, okay, that's where we at now. But we can't even go any further without sending our condolences to Jacksonville.
to
Jacksonville, the three black people who lost their life
oh,
over the
Jacksonville.
weekend.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
We're gonna have this conversation pretty much every other month or so because this
Hmm.
world is just what it is.
Yeah, it's a wicked world, man. And the part that's a travesty out of it all is that there's no consequences. You know what I mean? Because the guy in turn turned the gun on himself, so there's no consequences. You know what I mean? To be had. I don't know. I don't know the full details. Was he a younger guy?
I think he was 21
21. Where did he live by himself?
with his parents.
Oh, I'm charging them. That's what we're gonna have to start doing. I'm charging
I
them.
don't know if they can really charge him, but I do know.
I think in those cases we have to start charging these parents. I ain't saying charging them for the murder. We have to charge them for something.
I don't know.
I'm
I
with
think it
it.
would be a waste of court time. But look, I ain't gonna say it over here. But you remember Charles Bronson?
No, I'm not right. I mean, I know the name, but not right off.
Oh yeah, MJ. I forgot. You're not in that little era. You were probably just born. He was one of them. He was the what's that word when he took justice in his own hands.
Okay.
So he went after everybody because I think was it his daughter? I don't know if it was his daughter and his wife were murdered.
Mm.
And from there, he was on a mission. So he what's that word they use? They call him
Vigilante.
Yes, that's what he was.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be thinking about them kind of lines. But I really believe the person who do it, they're the one who. But that's all right because they're gonna meet their maker, honey. They think they think it's hot here.
Mm-hmm.
I
just find it interesting though in a lot of these cases though that these people are young folk who are living at home with their parents.
Some of them are some of these parents are enablers. They baby their children. They're isolated. But in this case, it was a hate. It's hate. It's a hate crime because he didn't like black people. When you are born, you don't have no knowledge of anything. None. Hey, Nakaya, how you doing?
What up, Miss James?
She said a very wise woman told me, be careful how you treat people because that may be the person who give you the last cup of water. Amen. Amen. Yes. Yes, and she said at Murray, that is a very good friend of mine. She's older than I. She was like my best friend growing up, like my mentor, like my big sister, a beautician in New Jersey. She's a beautician, has her own beauty parlor. That's what we called it back in the days. And when I tell you, she had me up there making money. That's how I learned how to do finger waves, weaving. I could give you a nice wrap of doobie. I mean, everything. She had me up in there hustling. There was times I was supposed to be working, honey. We up there laughing, talking. She still paid me. I learned so much from her. So Nakai, yes, Marie, it's good to have people around you that are older because you see them older people give you knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
You get knowledge from older people,
Yeah.
and I guess I'm in that range now, being 51 years. Y'all 51. I know it's hard to believe, but yes, 51. But when I have a chance to talk to anyone and encourage them, that's what I do. Sometimes people are like, I can't wait till I grow up. I want to be just like you. I said, no. You got to be better than me. Because it's only if you know my struggle.
Okay.
But you got to be better. But, and I always encourage them. Hey, what you doing? I said, that's just a start. Encourage. So sometimes people get so amazed when I give them encouraging words. But, hey, I was you one time. And I'm very grateful for the people that came in my life. Some of them came for a season, because some of them is not there. I don't know where they just MIA. But then there was some who was still there. And I appreciate it, because I said they probably came to teach me something. They came to give me some kind of message. And trust me, I receive it. That's why I am the way I am. And I always try to encourage people. And I always want people to have the best. If you can have best, hey, I'm for you. And I'm happy for you. And if anything, you're going to motivate me. Like, hey, look, MG done did that. I could do that. Well, I could do that too. I might don't do it as good as MG, but I might can. So, but back to that 21-year-old. She said, yes, I love her. That's my mama, my adopted mommy. Yes, ma'am. But when you have people like that, you always keep them around. But what we were saying about a young man in Florida, he was taught. 21 years old, what you know? When I first came to America as a kid, I didn't know nothing about slavery. I was taught that. I've been here. What y'all talking about slavery? I was taught,
So you were 21 when you first came here to America, to United States.
Who, the young man?
Is that how old were you when you came here?
I was 8. I was a little kid.
Oh, okay. So I was trying to figure out, like, at what age, are you kind of taught or going into, the American history, slavery, and stuff like that? Because, for the most part, most people, they watch Roots and call it a day. You know what I mean?
Yes, Roots was it back in the days. But when it comes to a lot of these white people, and especially these young adults that is doing these things, they grew up with that in their house. They grandparents, even their parents, their great-grandparents, they were racist. They have to be. They probably like, that nigga. They hearing that all their life, and then, their parents probably tell, yeah, your great-granddaddy had 5 million slaves, and, they good for that. They learned this at home. So, it's sad that we continue to lose loved ones and friends and people in general in this world for these simple things.
Right. People that are doing everyday things.
One of the young lady was in her car. She just probably pulled up. This woman probably just came from work, probably had to run out just to get something. And in her car, and bullets come flying at you. Came out just like, I was in the store today. I'll tell you, I'll be doing pickup for real. I'll be doing pickup because when I'm in the store, I just be like, I'll be just wondering if somebody gonna come in, if somebody here already. And I was in the store and I'm just like kind of looking around. I was like, this is such a crazy way to live. So because I might don't want to be a victim of some tragic like that, I'm gonna need to go to Cherokee County. I'm just saying.
You think that's a safer place?
I mean, besides him trying to hang me, but I'm just saying, I won't get shot.
In Cherokee County?
That's where the white people are at. They probably hang me. They probably hang me.
Is that your alternative?
Everybody coming in the store shooting up the store. Sometimes you gotta make jokes out of certain things, but I'm just saying, I won't have to worry about somebody coming in there hate crime because they're not gonna go into any of those stores in Cherokee County. Anybody from Georgia know Cherokee, predominantly white, certain areas in Cherokee. They really not coming in there to kill black people, especially somebody who is going to go kill black people. If they come in there, they gonna and they do shoot up. They're gonna look for the black people who might be in there, but they're not. No. Like this guy drove from where he was and went to a predominantly black area. First, he went to a college, a black college, and he got spooked away or whatever by the security guard.
Oh, was it? It was the same guy.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, Saturday. Yeah, that's what he did, and then he went to Dollar General. And you know, that's when they said a lot of people. Because if you notice in certain areas, they don't have Dollar General. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we know off top what that was about though, but I didn't know he was the same person that actually went to the college
tried.
first.
Yes, he tried. Yep, that was that was him.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So this is what we are continuously having to deal with, is these things. We shouldn't be afraid to go to the store. We shouldn't be able to go anywhere and not be safe. But unfortunately, this is what we are living. Can it be fixed? I definitely doubt it. Cannot. It's too much hatred in the world already for this to even be remotely fixed. You know, because everybody, you know, a lot of people probably put down the folding chairs. They're probably not walking around with the folding chairs no more. So, but a folding chair and a gun is two different things. What you gonna do? Yeah. Unless the folding chair got a bulletproof.
He might have been upset about what happened in Alabama.
Well, I probably can't say this on, but I'm gonna say,
yeah.
I hope he go to hell.
Yeah.
And I hope. Well, no, I was gonna say hope he. No, I can't say that. But yeah, they just you know put his foot in the fire and pull him out, and put him back in, put him out. You know, I mean, I'm just saying. Sometimes, because I'm human, so I'm supposed to feel that way. Because how do you take the innocent people's life? It's mind-boggling. It's hurtful, and then because of the color of our skin, you know, it's sad. And speaking of this whole color thing, Love and Hip Hop, I don't watch it. Love and Hip Hop of Atlanta, I don't watch it, but of course, being on social media, you see what's going on. But one of the clips that they had, Spice, she's Jamaican, she's dark, she's dance hall queen now. There's a young lady named Erica Mina. I think she's mixed Puerto Rican or whatever. She's but they had an argument. And in the argument, because Spice spoke the truth and said, hey, I mean, but your son don't like you. So she got upset. I mean, truth hurts. She flipped the table and going off. So I think after she flipped the table, Spice told her that her son don't like her. But do you know what she called Spice? And supposedly her Spice is this. A monkey.
A what?
A monkey. Yes, Nakai. She called Spice a monkey. Let me tell y'all something. I love white people. I got white friends. I got Puerto Rican friends, and I got mixed cousins and all that. My sister was married to a white man. Listen, I'm not racist, but I can be prejudiced sometimes. I'm gonna talk the truth. But see, let me tell you something. If you want to know what people really think about you, get in a dispute with them. Get in an argument that they're gonna tell you what they really feel about you. She called her monkey. Like, that girl can't tell me she not racist. How you go from being this and see, words hurt. But see, you really that's what you really think about me. But your ex-husband, he black and he Jamaican.
Realistically, what do you think the fallout is going to be behind it, though?
Well, the fallout was because Spice was defending her ex-husband because they Jamaican.
No. I mean, like, what do you think the fallout is going to be from it? Like, you think she's going to lose some type of money or?
Oh yeah, she won't be on that show next year.
Oh, you think she won't?
Everybody's going to. Everybody already was like, nah, like that's just racist. That is racist. I don't care what nobody wants to say. That's racist. Somebody call me monkey right now. It won't be nice. Well, then again, who knows? Because I mean, I don't want to go to jail, but that's like. I mean, she's gonna lose money. So this money she was making from that show, her last paycheck is gonna be cut at that reunion.
Yeah, I mean,
What
we
you
gonna
think, MD?
see. See, a lot of this stuff, man. You know, it's you know, it's already been kind of reported a lot of times that this stuff is pretty fake. So, you know, I don't know how this is gonna go as far as like, was this supposed to be her storyline, something, or something she's supposed to be doing? You know, because I always think like every time like everything goes from like 0 to 60 really, really quickly. Where like, you know, something happens, somebody's talking to each other, and all of a sudden it's a fight or something that's going on. You know what I mean? But I do know that some of the people say they have to spice up their stories in order to stay on
Right.
these shows.
And yeah,
Um,
you do. But
and so
but you just don't cross a line. Okay,
I,
it might have started out, but like I said, you know, a lot of times, I mean, when somebody, Nakaya said, you absolutely right. When you get into an argument with someone, they say how they truly feel. Yeah. Here's the thing. Even though it says, but I always wonder why I never see the first son on with her. Again, apparently she had this child, and I think the child's father is the one who's been taking care of him. A lot of that happened in a lot of neighborhoods. You know, you have children young, and either the grandparents or the father raises the child. But regardless of what, you trying to make something spicy or whatever, and hit below the belt. I'm not saying Spice is right for saying that as well. I'm just saying at the point in time, you calling me a monkey. Just like if she was Chinese and she said Ling Ling, you know, a lot of times we know the racist terms.
true, true. I just wonder like, so in a lot of these cases, uh, because we know these are words that have been said before. So for me, I'm about consequences. So if the consequences aren't great enough, then you know it's almost a non-story. You know what I mean? Because if if there's no consequences from it, she's not gonna lose, you know, then the consequences. I mean, then it's a non-story for, for me. You know what I mean? Because to me, like, you know, and I will say this about some New Yorkers. You know, remember when Jennifer Lopez, uh, you know, she said the N word. Um, so you know, and everybody was kind of, you know, about her, but Fat Joe was saying the same thing. Now I don't know what Fat Joe is. I don't know if he's any blacker than her or not. I don't know.
Right,
You know,
right.
I don't know. But when you get to that New York Puerto Rican type of thing, it's some blurred lines in there somewhere. You know what I mean? And so I don't necessarily know. But I find all of that interesting because we don't know. You know, when those, and I don't want to just pick on New York, but it seems to be they blur the lines on that because they have such a mixture of cultures between Puerto Rican and black in those
Mm-hmm.
communities. Um,
Right.
but you know, so I don't know, you know, who's allowed to say it and who's not. It seems like the women aren't allowed to say it. That's what it would seem
The
like.
N word, right?
Yeah. The women ain't allowed to say it, but the men, you know, hey, look,
I
I
mean,
guess you could say it.
I just believe that our community think it's okay if we talking to each other. But if it was an offensive word back in the slavery days and the segregation, I just feel that we shouldn't use it.
Yeah, you know.
I feel we shouldn't use it. I don't feel that we should have our kids learning to use it just as, what's up, ma? But of course, every
Hmm.
music, every other hip hop, reality shows, etc., they're hearing it. So how can you tell them that it's not cool? Yeah, but I mean, my homeboy could say it, but just not Brad can't say it. You know. So again, how do we dictate who say the word?
Right.
But We did come in late today. We had some storms, so we did lose power. So we had to reboot the studio. So we up and running. However, we're gonna check out early as well, because MG kind of busy, and and Mckenna, she's out and about, but we'll be back. Hey, thank you, Jay. But we do thank you so much for supporting us at thepowerhouseradio.com and 89.1 FM. We couldn't do it without you guys. Thank you so much for being faithful, tuning in. Miss James, we got to get with you next week, Wednesday. Okay, so Jay said it is a derogatory word. It's rude. I agree 100%. But we're going to see you next week all as well. Ms. James, I'm going to reach out to you because you could chime in next week on our topics next week. But MG, I appreciate you, taking out time out of your schedule because, MG, he a busy young man. And we do this every week. And, of course, like I said, we are hosts and, we can't do it without each other. And MG, Mckenna, I know you listen to us where you are. Thank you guys so much. We are a team. And thank you so much, MG. So we're gonna just say, see you guys next Monday, Wednesday, all well. It will be September, and this is what, Labor Day weekend. You guys be safe. Please be safe. Stay safe. Not only from the sea out there, but also just going out and about. Be mindful of your surroundings and be safe. And we see you next week. This is Tonia. Say see you next Wednesday.
Mrs. MG, y'all have a blessed.
Yeah. Hey, yo, Tim, man, Mr. Jump Off right here, man. Whoa. Whoa, it's Queen B, nigga, jump off. I've been going for a minute now.
Hit me with the horn, Tonia.
Goons in the club,
Keep making noise. Keep making noise. Yeah. Here we go now. 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 Here we go now.
Good night, everyone.
Here we go now. Here we go now. Here we go. Here we go. Now listen. Some of y'all might know this, and some of y'all don't. Some of y'all might get with this, and some of y'all won't. But listen. Let me clear my throat. Oh. Have mercy, babe. Ha! I hope you don't mind. Let me clear my throat. Special dedication going out to everybody here in Bahama Bay, in Philadelphia. Here we go now. Check it out. Rock to the rhythm of the funky line, so I can get busy just one more time to the beat, and you don't quit. It's that old school rap with that new school hit. Need a pipe and pick a pep up, a cool rap the rock, and I can still rip up the house. That time I get on the mic, I go crazy. Peace out to CeeLo, Flex, and Young Lazy. I bet you never knew, but now you know. I'm the undisputed king of this disco, and I never let the mic magnetize me no more. Cause DJ Cool rip up the whole damn flow. Now I'ma rock around with the greatest of these, and swinging like a man on the fried Chinese. And if you don't like it, you grab on these. And now I need some help for the right, so please. Yeah! Ha! So look at here. Check the flavor of the rhythm I wrote. And while I get a chance here, let me clear my throat.